Of all the things to remember on the racetrack, perhaps the one that can be the toughest to keep in mind is just how important it is to use your eyes correctly when driving, on track, at speed. In fact, using your eyes can be critical to your success as well as safety. In this section, you'll hear about the importance of looking forward, finding visual cues along the racetrack, how to use your eyes in traffic, and making adjustments for the sim. You may have heard someone say, "Look where you want the car to go." Makes sense, but in reality, it's a bit more complex than that. You need to look ahead, far ahead. Perhaps because we spend so much time driving on public roads, at lower speeds or in traffic, we tend to look at the road directly in front of the car, or maybe at the rear bumper of the car ahead. On the racetrack, if we apply that same focal length when we drive at speed, we get into trouble. The track will be rushing at us so quickly that reference points can't be processed, and we become reactive as drivers. The further ahead you look, the slower your environment seems to be moving, giving your brain more time to process information, allowing you to pick up your reference points early and anticipate your next move. One thing that you'll likely notice is that you'll make fewer reactionary steering inputs, and overall, your driving will be considerably more fluid. Looking ahead is especially important in the sim. Because there aren't any physical forces, or G's, acting upon your body, you have to process a tremendous amount of data about what the car is doing through visual cues. There are a couple of methods that you can use to exercise your eye placement, both in real-world driving and in the sim. When driving on the street, make every effort to look far down the road, using your peripheral vision to absorb what's happening around you. This will not only give you some practice, but also make you a more prepared driver on the street. When you're on track in the sim, always look to the next corner. Once you've committed to the corner that you're in, get your eyes up to your next target. A great place to practice this is at the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca Corkscrew. This track features a series of closely connected technical corners, along with some elevation changes, as well as a corner exit that's tough to see. As you drive through this segment of the track, once you've hit the apex of a corner, force yourself to look ahead to your next turn-in and apex. Remember, always focus on what's coming next. Don't just look at the pavement that's right in front of you, widen your sight picture and take in everything that's available as a reference point. Guardrails, buildings, trees, and terrain are all good for this. Having spatial awareness allows you to focus on another important skill, driving in traffic. As you know, there are some natural tendencies from street driving that we sometimes bring to the track, worst of which is focusing your eyes on the car immediately ahead of you. It is very easy to get caught up in what the driver in front of you is doing and thereby losing concentration on your own line and your own race. You've got to do your best to resist this, looking beyond the car in front of you to pick up your reference points for braking and turning. If you don't, you run the risk of copying exactly what your competitor is doing, mistakes and all. Not to mention you'll never go faster than they are. You need to be prepared to turn their mistakes into your opportunities. Using your eyes in the sim presents a different set of challenges than you would experience in an actual race car. Because the screen is your only connection to the track, all of the driving experience is being absorbed through your eyes. In addition, because most of you are likely working with a flat screen monitor, there's no peripheral vision. To some extent, you're going to have to fill in the blanks mentally to complete the field of vision around you. Without the movement of a real car, you don't feel the lateral and longitudinal forces pushing on your body to give you the sensation of how fast you're going or how much you're slowing down. So, in addition to all of the visual cues you have to remember to stay online, you also have to visualize, rather than feel, oversteer or understeer situations and react to them quickly. It does take some time to get comfortable with using the cues, but with experience, you'll note variances in screen motion that will be an indication that you need to make an input adjustment with the steering wheel or pedals. Though we hope you enjoy practicing and racing with iRacing as much as possible, looking at a monitor for hours on end can be hard on the eyes. When you add in all the things you've got to remember when driving, plus the level of concentration it takes to keep your car online and going fast, well, it can be downright brutal. That said, be sure and pay close attention to the setup of your system. Whether setting up on a desktop, chassis, or TV, put the monitor in a place that does not cause strain or is too far away or too high. Also, adjust the brightness, color, and frame rate of your monitor to ensure comfort. Something to consider is that in real-world driving, racers use the straights to relax, breathe, and stretch out a bit. This can be the same in the sim, and a perfect time to relax your eyes, too. When you get onto a straight, relax the tension in your arms and hands as well as your eyes. Take a moment to focus your eyes on some other objects that are in the immediate vicinity. Your eyes are perhaps your most valuable assets on the racetrack. In racing, using your eyes can help you to anticipate situations to your advantage and hopefully lead to better performance on the track. Good luck.